all this talk of levies and how we have to vote on it and stuff, how would that specifically affect property taxes, especially with, as assessed values increase and things like that? How does it personally affect property taxes?
Right. So we all had that shock over the summer opening up our assessed notice, and oh my, that is a lot higher than I expected. So that the good news there is, because the market is growing at a similar pace, means that the way that Post Falls School District levies taxes should remain flat as long as your assessed value is increasing at the same rate as the rest of the market. And we are seeing that the market is growing at a pretty consistent rate. There may be some outliers, like maybe, a house sold in your area and that boosted the numbers on your street, or you did an addition to your home. That would be a cause for an assessed value going up above the average market increase. But for taxpayers that are seeing the average market increase, we're seeing flat taxes, or in some cases just a little bit less, even though assessed values are increasing. And so this is really important to show as far as what the difference is. So this is something that's really good to show rather than project for taxpayers. And I want to show a real example of a taxpayer's bill in the area. And this is I looked at a number of data points throughout the district's market, and this one was sort of consistent with what I was seeing. They're all, within the ballpark. Everything isn't increasing at the same amount, but this one is pretty glaring because this taxpayer had an assessed value increase of 71%. So that's a very significant increase, but let's see what happens with their taxes. So tax year 2020, their assessed value was $343,360. So, back in 2020, that was what we were seeing. That wasn't a big surprise to open up that assessment notice. With a homeowner's exemption, you have a taxable value of $243,360. And so the tax rate for Post Falls School District, we're only looking at Post Falls School District taxes. On your tax bill, you may see other entities, for example, the county, city, a highway district. We're only looking at Post Falls School District taxes because that's what we can control. And so the tax rate here is applied to that taxable value in order to get the full year tax charge, which was $477. So if this individual had a mortgage payment, the monthly cost for Post Falls School District taxes is $40 a month. So if you're looking at the year 2021, they saw a modest increase as far as their assessed value, not, as high as we saw last year, but it was $394,490 was their assessed value, less the exemption. Apply that year's tax rate, and their taxes actually went down quite a bit, down to $375 per year. So they saw some monthly savings. They were at $31 a month for their Post Falls School District taxes. Going into 2022, that's the year we all had the shock, right? So this assessed value went up to $587,300. So that's up from $343,360, which is a 71% increase. So very significant increase. This individual is paying only $1 more a month for their tax charge for Post Falls. So even with that increase, it was up 48% from prior year. They're seeing about $1.32 months difference.
And just to clarify, that's state revenue. That's not the
This is the levy.
This would be the levy.
This is the property tax levy that people are seeing, and this is what the vote is on this property tax levy.
Okay.
So for this Post Falls resident, their tax bill, their tax charge for the Post Falls School District actually decreased since 2020, 18%. And despite their assessed value going up by the 71%. So this was just hopefully to show that even though we're getting this shock as far as what our assessed values are, with the way taxes are set up for school districts, if your assessed value is going up the same as the rest of the market or within the ballpark, you're not going to see a very different tax charge year to year for your school district taxes. And so this is prior year data. I always like looking at prior year data because, if I talk about projections, people may question how I'm getting those numbers and that sort of thing. So I love looking at actuals, but looking forward to if this levy were approved, what would the effect be on the property taxes? And with projections as far as new construction in the area, adding to the market value, spreading that burden across more taxpayers, we are projecting flat taxes for the average taxpayer if this levy is on the property tax bills in the coming year.